I think by now we've established that there's no white genocide in South Africa, but there are some very disturbing trends.
In the first 8 months of this year alone, the Commission recorded 148 attacks on farms, resulting in the death of 33 farmers.
Now bring back the death penalty. That's the call from a Free State farmer whose wife and son among the 7 victims killed allegedly by 2 men who went on a murder spree last weekend.
He was part of the gang who raped the teenager, stabbed her more than 50 times, slit her throat and left her for dead in an abandoned house.
Was found half covered by a bin on his farm in Piketberg just yesterday.
You're probably sitting somewhere comfortable watching this. I'd like you to step out of your comfort zone for a second. Imagine you're a South African farmer. You've got your citrus, your livestock, your sugarcane. Life is good. You own a big piece of land. You work from home. It's the perfect job. Your job is important as you play a fundamental role in South Africa's food security. And not only that, economically, you help the country by exporting some of the fruits of your labor. However, when the sun sets, darkness prevails. Every other month you hear that one of your farming neighbors has been invaded. He's been killed. His wife has been raped and killed. His kids got to watch the whole ordeal. His workers definitely not spared. This type of incident happens in your community at least once every quarter. Now you and your family are just sitting ducks waiting for your turn. This is not an insert from a thriller or a fiction. This is the reality of South African farmers. Some people might say, oh, farm killings are not a real pandemic in the country. Crime as a whole is. We shouldn't focus on farm killings. We should focus on crime as a whole. I'd like to challenge that statement. Of course, South Africa has its problems with crime. Criminals will take any opportunity to steal some money or steal anything that they could sell. But there are certain categories of crime that not only expose the brutality of crime in South Africa, but also the economic impact. Now, I'd like to share some numbers. Per 100,000 South Africans, 35 will be victims of murder. Let's look at gang violence. For every 100,000 gangsters, 100 of them will be victims of murder. Let's look at the most popular crime in South Africa, cash in transit. Per 100,000 cash in transit guards, 150 of them will be victims of murder. Before you even ask, I'll tell you about the farmer tax. Per 100,000 farmers and farm workers, 160 are murdered. This means that it's more dangerous in South Africa to be a farmer or a farm worker than it is to be a cash in transit security guard or even a gangster. What a time. Now, to say farmer tax only affect white South Africans would be really disingenuous and would be a slap in the face to all the families of the non-white victims. My problem with how this has been reported to date, it's either it's far left or far right. But the truth is, this topic is far more nuanced than that. Now, I don't want to spend time speaking about race with regards to this issue, but as one of the many examples, take a look at the Castell farm murders, where a brutal farm attack saw 7 people murdered, 6 women and 1 young man, and all of them were non-white.
Let's focus on one of the victims. Had he lived, 17-year-old Rudi Binto would have become a farmer. But these dreams have been cut short. He, his mother and 5 workers were found brutally murdered at a farm in Castell in the Free State recently. Family and community members held a memorial service today for the victims of last weekend's attack at the Lismore farm. ENCA's Moloko Moloto has the story.
This is Rudi Binto, the youngster whose young life was cut short by assailants that left 7 people dead. The killing of the grade 10 people from Retief Combined School has devastated friends.
This is actually the saddest day for all of us. It is unexplainable, the hurt that we feel caused by another human's hand on another brother.
Rudi was also a sports enthusiast, having played rugby from an early age.
He played for the under-9 rugby team of the school, and although he was not big in stature, he was quite a factor. And then he continued playing rugby, and since the beginning of this year, he was involved in the first team of the school. So he has many potential, and that is now taken away from him.
So I would say when speaking about farm murders, it's particularly important not to racialize it because it actually takes away from the problem at hand. And in the meantime, criminals are having a field day. I'm a very technology forward person, and I'll always advise for farmers to use technology as it evolves to combat these problems. Things like smart surveillance. AI-powered cameras could easily detect and classify any suspicious activity around the farm. If it's AI-powered, it can easily analyze historical data and use that data to respond accordingly, whether it's by alerting or reporting situations. Now, this is not far-fetched as there are companies that are already operating in this domain. Companies like Snowed Technologies or Agristics are actively trying to assist farmers in combating these types of issues using AI and autonomous technology. In conclusion, I'd like to say that in South Africa, a farm attack should be seen as a declaration of war and nothing less. South Africa needs to stand together and fight against this type of crime. Not only is it gruesome, it also has the most negative effect on our economy and it threatens our food security. So white, black, Indian, colored, or Khoisan, we need to come together as we all have a vested interest. Goodbye.